Yeah, because it kind of go. I was thinking about like the rules of the Death Note and thinking about the JJK power system and how confusing that was. I was like, why does this Death Note thing rules work so much better than? I mean, they might not be analogous or you can really compare them that well, but how does this like make more sense than JJK explaining their power system? Because like I wonder with like Death Note, it was just like they introduce a few rules and then they put them in like these crazy situations to use those rules in. So yeah, so I was like, so I don't know, like for some reason, like with Death Note, it makes, even though they have a lot of rules, it just, I don't know how if they just set it out in an easier way to take in than with JJK. Because I'm like, I understand this way better than with the JJK power system.
I have actually, that's the first thing I thought about. By like episode 3, I came to a conclusion. It's because they put the rules every break. Every midway point at the 10 minute, we get the 10-minute mark. In Jujutsu Kaisen season 1, they had that title screen that come up in the middle of the episode. It was in green and it was in red. Yeah. They didn't do it season 2, but I feel like would have been really good is if in the middle of the show they had some clip about or an aspect of the curse system, right?
Right.
Attack on Titan did it too. Like in the middle of their episode, they put Wall Maria Santa, and you go, "Oh, okay," just to kind of remind you.
Yeah.
And
that's right.
It may be spoon feeding me, but I always hit pause and I go, "Okay." And
I didn't until like the third to last episode, because it was like they said there can be no more than 6 Death Notes and on Earth. And the only way if you have a 7th one, you can't really use it until like one of the Death Notes is either burned or leaves the human world or something like that. I was like, oh, I should have been reading all these things.
I know that rule.
Some interesting stuff like that.
That actually that rule, I believe, doesn't come until that, because I don't. I read them all the time, and I remember going, or maybe it was I didn't see it. Even without reading it though, they keep reiterating the rules in a way that you go, okay. They introduce it. He's literally testing the Death Note as he's going along.
That is true.
To go, basically with JJK, it's like, oh, okay, he's some cursing that happening, and then literally by episode like 2, I'm Gojo. I can do everything. And you're just like what? Well, the domain. Like you just.
Oh, what the fuck?
It's so much like thrown at you, and which is why I was saying before. For me, in JJK, I actually ended up really liking the curse system. It's just not explained well enough for me. Like it's not well enough. It's all over the place. But when I finally got it, it was okay. Death Note, it's I have this Death Note. Oh, I can kill people. Okay, if I kill someone 6 minutes later, does that work? Okay, can I cause an accident? Okay, let me try doing something where I want him to die in England. Oh, he just dies here, right? In Japan with the heart. And he's testing the rules out for like 2 episodes, right?
Yeah.
And then like other characters will low key do some tests and just constantly will constantly remind you how the Death Note is supposed to work.
Right,
someone has to do a thing. Or remember, he can't see me because he touched the bug. They don't just do a rule one time and then you got to remember it, later in 10 episodes. So I think they do a really solid job doling out the rules.
What's funny? I think a good test for like the viewer, the first for knowing the rules of the Death Note, like it was because it was kind of confusing. Like, what's going on when before like Misa was kind of introduced, where she was killing all the people at the TV station or whatever, or outside the TV station, and I was like, wait, this can't be Light doing this, because like he doesn't know all these people's names.
Yeah.
And at the end of the episode, because you don't see Light at all during that whole ordeal until the end of the episode, he was like, who's doing all this? Because I'm not doing it. Because he doesn't have the eyes.
Yeah.
He doesn't know, like, somebody was on the task force with him.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to, I actually didn't want to kill him at that point. So it was like, oh yeah, I was like, yeah, that's right. Like he doesn't know that these people's names and all these people are dying.
Yep.
So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, like the rules, they stick to the rules, and they make it interesting because they have a rule system. They stick to it, and also what they don't do, they don't introduce a rule as a Deus Ex like late in the game where it's like I'm gonna pick on JJK. Once again, I love second season, but I remember they brought in the you have the domains, right?
Right.
But then what's the thing where you can bring your domain close to you or something like a simple domain? Yeah, and I'm just like, wait, you can do this now? Like, dude, they just like things just. Like there's a rule system, but I don't know the rules, or I'm not aware of the rules.
Yeah.
When he starts doing certain, like you knew about the eyes. Literally, episode 1 or 2.
Yeah, they said, "Hey, you can do the eyes if you want to."
He's like, "Nah, I'm good."
He was like, "Nah, I'm fine."
Like,
and then like it's used the eyes are used so well.
Yeah.
When it came to Rem, for using Rem, because Misa used the eyes twice. So I was like, God damn. But then Light, kind of coerced Rem to use the Death Note to kill Watari and L.
Yeah.
So L and Watari are dead, and also extended Misa's life.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I guess. So like that, all those rules came into play later on, and it all made sense.
Yep.
And in that instance,
yeah,
I really like Rim, by the way.
Yeah, Rim was great
because Ryuk was so like, I don't care, I'm just here to have fun. Blah, 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 blah. And Rim is like, well, I kind of care about Misa. I can't trust Light at all because he's gonna like betray her and wind up betraying Rim, and Rim eventually dies. I thought Rim was great.
No, she was great. The only even the back half of the show, I like it now, kind of. I kind of like it. I actually like, you know, like
I did not like it. Was so rushed.
It was. That's what I'm saying. It was rushed. They actually.
It was so rushed.
So they should have. I was reading a comment somewhere on Reddit that I kind of agree with this. It should have been more of a when he died. It would have been cool if he had planted something, so he had the last laugh. You know, where it's like, yo, I have something here. I need Nier and Mel to find it. You know, So that way, it's him like solving it like from the grave.
Yeah.
I agree. It is rushed a little bit.
Cause like, oh, and here's Mikami. I'm like, who the fuck is like who like added like? All right, I found Mikami. The whole Mikami Kiyomi thing.
Wait, Mikami was the
guy at
the
the one who was like
delete.
I'm like, dude. I'm like, what the fuck? You're just writing names.
I was like, no, you're not as cool as Light. I'm sorry.
I'm like,
God.
Like, how are you writing and then you just jump like 5 feet?
No, he did. He jumped. The table was. He jumped all the way back.
Yeah, I was like,
delete. No, they. Okay.
Wait, what the fuck with the physics and writing?
Fine, that was dumb. That was super dumb.
It was fun. It was cool, but made no sense and also funny. I was like,
even the third Death God was kind of stupid.
Yeah, that was. I was like, why is he here? So like, yeah, the Kiyomi Mikami stuff. Like, it would be fine if it didn't feel so like. If it didn't, it just felt so rushed. Like they needed delete.
So that's okay. It's not good.
I think the final 2 episodes, the final encounter, I think in my opinion, saved the series.
Yes, it was a great
because I was like, after L died, I was just like, even the Yotsuba stuff, I was like, okay, you know, like with him, that was kind of, I don't want to say it was ridiculous, but I was like, because he like took away his memories, and then he's in the helicopter. Yeah. It all worked according to plan. So like, really? You guessed all this?
Well, that's the CEO.
Yeah, like that.
The company.
Yeah, the company.
Yeah, no, that was. I was a little too clever with the. That's the only part that I had any kind of mild issue with was when like how he's in the helicopter and he got his memory back, and I was like, come on, man.
So I was like, okay, fine.